Slop City Podcast!
Oh, that's beautiful.
What'd you say, bitch?
Put your camera
We
up.
gotta clap, Bobo.
I actually was going to do that as a joke.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, I was going to be like, ready, go.
Oh, okay. We gotta do it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Is that good?
Yeah. That was
Show where
good.
my
That
hair
was
parted
it.
Down the middle, pulled back.
I was literally looking at your hair like, man, I wish we could like really part it down the middle. Like just use a little bit of hand sanitizer as like gel.
Just
Yeah.
like, and then halfway through, it just like starts like coming out. Like, put alcohol in your
Oh man. I saw a guy the other day like sitting outside of my job. He was like, we were on a wait or whatever, and all I saw was the back of his head through like the lobby window, and he had like spiked hair or whatever. And this girl I work with, her name's Lauren, literally one of the funniest people ever. She looked at him. She goes, "Hey, looks like fucking 1999 called. What a fucking loser." And she's roasting this dude.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh man.
I also like that it's been long enough that like, I feel like I used to say 80s. I'm like, yeah, back in the 80s. And I'm like, dude, when you burn someone, I have like that bit where I say like, I'm like, what is it, 1995 or something? I'm like, it's so funny because you're like 1999 and someone's like, hey, shut up, dude.
Dude, this guy had cargo shorts that were tight. They were nice and tight. And here's the worst part. His shirt was tucked into them. And he's walking around all willy-nilly with gelled hair.
Yeah,
it was just like,
that guy's been sued
man.
before. That guy's assaulted people.
oh, God, it was so gross.
When I see a dude with cargo shorts still, and if you do tuck anything into him, it's only because you're like, I have to be able to get to my gun. I got to be able to get to my gun right here.
Oh, no, he was trying to get to like a pack of fruit gushers. He was like, he was just very awkward. Here's the thing, though. I actually really like.
Did he have his hair like this? Remember when in like grade school and like, did he have his hair like this? Was it gelled like just like the front was up?
No, hold on. Let me show you. Let me Google it. It was like
Joey Tribbiani.
Can I exit out of that, Randy?
Yep.
Are you sure? 100. He said 100.
Outside my
Okay.
pussy
No, hold on. I'm going to
window.
show you what his hair looked like. 90s spiked hair.
Oh, dude, Priceline.com. I fuck with that shit. So
Dude, I
hard.
love
I
Priceline.
fucking love Priceline.
Okay.
Dude, I wanted Liberty spikes so bad when I was a kid.
Those?
Yeah, dude. I came to school and I would like do like 3 of those and get, just my ass kicked.
Wait, did you really?
100%.
I didn't even know. Oh, like these ones?
Well, no, my hair wasn't that long though, so
like
I couldn't.
Benji Liberty Spikes.
Dude, remember at Felix's? No, do you remember the guy at Felix's? Who was the guy who worked in the kitchen? I can't think of his name right now. He had like white hair, like super white. Phil. Dude, one day I came around the corner. We would do stupid bits together, dude. We would do stupid bits all the time, and I just came around the corner. I go, "Who's your favorite member of Good Charlotte?" And he starts laughing so hard, and I leave around the corner. I was like, "That was a good bit." And he comes around. He goes, "I don't know. I guess Benji." And I was like, "You remembered his name?" He goes, "Like that's his name, right?" He's like, "They're twins, right?" I'm like, "Dude, you're killing me."
Benji and Joel, I think.
Yes, dude. I remember I wore a Good Charlotte shirt my cousin gave me in school, and this guy came around the corner and he goes, "Good Charlotte sucks." And I go, "You suck." And then he goes, "What?" And he ran at me, and I ran into my class, and I was like, oh my God. Dude, he was going to kick my ass.
Good Charlotte sucks.
Lifestyles of the rich and the famous.
I am going to be very blunt with all of you right now. I know every single word to every song on that album.
We can go first album through. I know every song on the original album for sure.
I don't know about the original album.
Go to it.
Well, we can't play anything.
Oh, no. Are we? I didn't know we were live. Are we just talking? I thought we were just looking stuff up.
Are you serious?
Are we live?
Dude, are you doing a fucking bit right now?
I thought we were still getting set up. You're just pulling this up. I did not know we were live. I thought we were still. He's like, I thought you said you had to set up your camera.
We're good. We started.
Hey guys!
The podcast has started.
Oh no!
You really didn't know that we were live?
100%. No, you said let's clap. I thought we were still getting set up.
No.
I'm having a good time just talking.
No,
to you.
you clap to signify that the podcast has started.
I didn't sign anything. I'd like to Can I talk to my lawyer? I didn't. I truly. Dude, I'm having a good time talking about Good Charlotte. I can't even. You have to
be
cut this
honest,
out. I would never let anyone know I like them.
Oh, yeah. Today we have Bobby Jaycox on the Slop City Podcast. Slop City Podcast.
Slop.
You saw that video, right, of Natalie? You know that video, the ranch video, right? Do you know about this?
I know about ranch. I know that, but I don't know. Is there
Randy? Do you have the
Slop City Podcast?
So, okay. I'll tell him the story during this. One of our longtime listeners, OG Slop fan, we actually met her in Arizona when we went there to do shows. She ate way too many gummies, I think is what happened. And tripping her fucking balls off. Like, she is just not well, not in a good place. And her boyfriend recorded her during it. And
while she was at the show?
No. This wasn't at the show. This was at home, and her partner sent it to us. She sent it to us, but she is totally gone, laying in her bed, and she screams ranch at one point during it. And screams Slop City Podcast. And she goes seriously, listen on Spotify. While she is, totally gone. Truly, let me text her and ask her how many gummies she had or what she did.
We also live in the world of so much weed that you say gummies, and I know you don't mean fruit. That you don't need. Oh, sorry. Are we live? Okay. I truly did. That's so funny. No, but I thought. I think that
Do we have to stop the podcast because my iPhone just went off? Do we have to pay Apple?
Yeah. Can that be on there? Can that?
I'm fucking around.
Ding.
Okay, sorry. What were you saying?
No, but I was saying, I think it's funny that gummies now, when you said gummies, I didn't even assume you just meant gummies. You say gummies, and people know that you're you mean weed gummies, which is so funny. I'm when you say...
You're just a bunch of sour crawlers.
Yeah. We just live in the world where someone's I took too many gummies, and you're oh man, I bet you had a bad evening. Yeah. Is this it? All right.
Hold on. I'm asking her how much
everyone on the podcast is looking something up except for me. So we are live. This is my Oklahoma shirt that Tina got me for Christmas.
Yeah.
It's from Tina DB's.
Oh, God, I hope this is it.
Let's watch the videos.
Oh, it truly is incredible. The other day, Ranch is somebody screamed, Ranch! During Libbie's set at a show.
Oh, wow.
Someone screamed
crazy.
Ranch at her.
That's crazy.
And then we're in a group text at work, and you know my friend Danny.
Yes.
She works at my job. Okay, this is it. Dude, I
there's
can't
no
wait.
sound, and I can already tell.
All right, let's hit it.
So she's having a good time. I thought you made it sound like she was having a bad time.
She's not. She couldn't talk for about an hour before this. Just wait. I just want you to really experience the whole thing. Here it is. She's in her bed. Grinding. Watch the YouTube video so you can see this.
She's cracking herself up. That's so.
What? Yeah. Oh shit! I can talk again. What up, motherfucker? You had me, bitch.
She looked like she just got called down for The Price is Right. She's waving at everybody and dancing.
What up, motherfucker? Bitch, you thought you had. You thought you had. What did Lizzo say? What did she say? What the fuck? You thought you really did. Tried it and everything. Didn't even fit. Looking busted. Do that, bitch. Oh, shoot. Ranch! Ranch! Fucking Libbie. Fucking Tina. Slop City Podcast! Slop Citizens!
Is this The Exorcist? She looks like she's
Hold
about
on,
to
literally listen on Spotify. Oh my god.
I just. This is my favorite part.
I mean, literally listen on Spotify. Oh my god. Okay. doing a little too much, girlfriend. Chill. Yes. Who are you? A boss bitch. A boss bitch.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh my God.
And that's how Mary had a little lamb. Amen. Glory, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh. Oh my gosh.
You feeling better?
Oh my babe.
You can tell she totally forgot that he was there.
I like at the end how he goes down and you can tell she's doing that thing when you're high where you just keep rubbing your legs together like you're trying to get comfortable all night. Oh
Whoop,
my
whoop.
God. Whoop, whoop. Girl, she's
It's
like,
so-
too much. I like when she called herself out. She's like, all right, too much.
You're doing a little too much.
Oh my God. That was great.
Oh my God. So funny.
That's hilarious.
So I don't know why we brought that up, but either way, that's
I have no
that's
idea,
it.
but that was crazy. Yeah, did she say what she was thinking at the beginning? Because it was just so funny watching her.
She couldn't talk.
So she's
She
just
thought
dancing.
she could not talk. Like in her mind, she was like, the devil has taken me over, something like that, and I cannot speak. That's why she was like, you thought you had me. And then she was like, I can talk again. Like,
dude, she's talking like she took DMT or something. She's
oh,
like got
dude,
deep
for
with-
sure.
That's how you know it's like the first time you take edibles.
You know
Like,
what,
it's
though?
so
Like, it's
deep.
like people look at crackheads like they're the craziest people in the world, but I'm like, have you ever taken too much Adderall? Or like, have you ever like done way too much coke? Because it's like, I understand when I see them like talking to themselves and stuff, I'm like, yeah, been there.
Yes.
There was a girl way back when that like took too much like Adderall or whatever, and she was so twacked out that she literally was sitting there like this and she was going like a cat, licking her finger
Yeah.
and pawing at her nose like a little cat. And I was like, at the time we were like, you're psycho. But then it's like later on, you're like, no, I get it.
I get it. 'cause
I've been there.
I've been there too. You were with me the first time I did Adderall, and you do get like you the first time you do it, you're like, "What's up, everybody?" And they're like, "Man, Bobby's extra intense tonight." You're like, "What's wrong?" You're like, "Oh, someone gave him Adderall." It was
Oh,
your
dude.
friend. She asked me like 4 times. She's like, "You want to do Adderall?" I was like, "I'm not really into that." And then she just goes, "Would you like to do it again?" I go, "You know what? It's New Year's Eve. Let's try it." And I'm
What a
sitting there, I'm
great
like,
way to ring in the bell. Yeah, you're sitting there licking you're acting like a little cat.
yeah,
Dude, you were visibly sweating.
yes.
I mean, like,
It was not good. As soon as we did it, I was like, "You want to go outside and have a cigarette?" And I just remember looking up and being like, "Wow, this is gonna be a long night." It was a really long night.
oh, I'm sure you were up till 5 a.m.
Yeah. And then I went to the doctor and got prescribed because I was like, I think I have ADHD.
And they gave it to you?
I took a test. It was the front page and the back. And she goes like this. She come in after I took it and she just goes, "So, yeah, you have ADHD." And I was like, "Do you
I
want to
took a
check
test
anything?"
for it last week
Yes.
with my therapist.
Yeah.
I 100% have it.
Me too.
Libbie was blown away. Libbie was like, Tina, I can't believe I didn't realize that you have ADHD this whole time.
Yes.
But unfortunately, I can't take those drugs.
Yes.
Because they're
I
just
stopped.
too much for me.
I took it for 3 months and I had like, I kind of had like a weird just like breakdown where I was like,
Lost 70 pounds.
Yeah, dude, I did. I lost like, you
I'm sure you did.
I lost 30 pounds. I was like, you got really in. Like, I was like, man, that was such a good time in my life. I was doing comedy. I was working. Oh yeah, I was doing Adderall. You start to realize like all those things line up. But yeah, I quit taking it. I didn't like it. And I watch a lot of videos now about how if you pay attention and you try to like check in with yourself, that it is more of a gift than it can be a negative thing. Because people like us, like we are jumping around from task to task, but how we take care of stuff, sometimes we can't get more stuff done. Sometimes we start cleaning the kitchen and then start cleaning the bathroom and then don't get either one done. But there are days where I feel like if I'm writing, I feel like it helps with stand up and stuff because I'm just like, my brain's all over the place, but that kind of helps. Do you know what I mean? Like
for sure.
I definitely like now enjoy. I'm proud I have ADHD.
Proud to have ADHD. Let's get shirts made. And
we
like,
won't because we keep forgetting and we're procrastinating and we want them to be perfect.
No, it affects my life in a lot of negative ways.
Absolutely.
Where it's like, I do things like leave the cabinets open, start doing laundry, and then I
Yes.
forget. And it's like, it affects like Rafe, like, because Rafe doesn't operate that way.
No.
My partner Rafe does not operate that way. And it's like, I truly cannot help it.
No.
It's not, so it's like more than anything, it's kind of like you have to like identify the behaviors. And then you could have done that burp into the mic.
I know you were talking. I would burp into the mic if you weren't speaking.
What do you got in there? Coffee?
Alcohol. No, I got coffee. Coffee, baby.
Cool. Can I have a sip?
What do you got in there? Yeah, have a
Can
sip.
I just have a sip of
Yeah,
it?
let me talk.
Is it hot?
Yeah, it's hot. Let me talk to you about how much Tina fucks with my drinks. I came to go eat at the restaurant you work at, and she brought me 2 waters and then did this and put her finger in it for this long. And then pulled it out, and I was like, ha, 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 ha. And then I watched it, and I was like, I think my water's bubbling. I was like, I was like, dude, I'm going to get sick.
Yeah,
you have poop on your fingers.
It immediately started boiling, or it immediately turned dark brown, like when you're in the shower after the river.
Yeah. It started bubbling like the slime. Yeah. You could have drank out of the top. You didn't have to open it up.
I know.
I don't mind. But you talked about having ADHD and living with Rafe, and I feel like, because I know both, I'm close with both of you guys. You guys are both my family. So I talk with both of you guys, and I do feel like, it's like it goes back and forth. And if me and you early on, I talked about living with Rafe early on before you guys were together, and then we had for a second talked about getting an apartment together. We're like, let's get a place.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been a nightmare because we both have ADHD.
I don't think we would be friends anymore.
Really?
That
hurts my feelings. I was like, I think it would have been so well we would have got stuff done. And you're like, I don't think it would have been your friend. I was like, all right, and we'll be right back. Have we started the podcast? Because I'm crying right now.
Okay. No, I think it would have had a serious strain on our friendship.
Why?
Because I think we both would have been so frustrated. And it's like, I just think it would have been rough.
Really?
Yeah. You don't?
No. I think if I would have, because here's what I think. If I would have lived with Rafe, it would have been good. If I would have lived with you, it would have been good. I don't think it would have been great.
Randy, is this like soap?
Yeah, what is that?
I just put this hand sanitizer on. I want to end my life. Don't do it. It feels so bad.
Doesn't smell like soap.
Oh, wait. It's drying.
Holy
shit, that was a lot.
Dude. You're going to...
Sorry, do you want like a buck, dude? Do
you want me to put it back in?
I'm sorry.
You know it was a lot because Randy yelled.
Yeah, dude, I thought it was
Randy doesn't ever yell.
I just didn't feel like leaning up to my microphone.
Oh.
Which I had to eventually do.
Here, show me how much you put in your hand. We should all try it. We should all clean our hands. We're almost out of COVID. We're almost put some on your hands.
I don't use this shit. It was just an extra bottle.
Let me show you. Show me what you do, baby. Same amount.
2 little driblets.
Same amount I just used.
It was the same amount. I was being a dick. That does feel weird. I've not used this
just
before.
wait.
It was
Let
just
it
an extra one.
dry.
Also,
let it dry.
Why'd you do? He did it from up here like he was about to jerk off in the most fun way. He's like,
He did it like a bartender.
I wanted the camera to see it.
Oh God.
But yeah, no, I think if me and Rafe would have lived together, it would have went good. And I think if we would have lived together, it would have went good. We probably wouldn't have signed for another lease. But that's so funny that you're like, I don't think it would. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right because we would have. I mean, we've hung out a lot, and it usually, it's always nice to be able to go back to your own home. So if we had to wake up every day and be like, and just doing fart bits, I thought we would get nothing done, but I thought it would have been fun. But fuck, I guess we'll never know.
It probably would have been fun. I don't know. I honestly kind of just like said it, and it's not. You don't. Please don't cry, sir.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Okay, we're gonna get copyrighted for that.
Only if you sing it in tune, baby.
Yeah.
I want to keep that so.
No,
so I want to know what before you try to move on to Liberty Spikes. I really want to know what part of us living together do you think would have been bad? Because probably because my farts I got stinky poops.
I think it just would have been a lot. You know what I mean? Like there would be like times that I'm like, man, I really want to wind down, and you're like, dude, but we have like a huge
you
party.
Want to wind down before you think you'll want to wind down before I want to wind down?
Yeah. Why? You think I'm the Raging Cajun?
No, I just. You think I'm John Morgan? You think I'm the Raging Cajun, Johnny Morgan? No, I just think that we both rage on. That's what I'm saying. I think it would have been bad for both of us, but I love that you think that you would have had to been like, Bobby, can you keep it down? And I'm like, hey, Tina, can you fucking put the toothpaste anywhere back in the bathroom? Just make sure it's in the bathroom.
How do you know that I do that?
I was at your house when Rafe came out and he just goes, hey, this is like on the oven. The toothpaste was on the oven and Tina's like, yeah, you'd be hard to live with, Bobby. Oh my God.
I'm really unorganized. I mean, it's like my therapist and I got a new therapist and we talked about it this last week and she did like an assessment or whatever. And she was like, yeah, she's like, I already knew you had ADHD while we're like talking. And it's like a lot of people with trauma have ADHD because I think it's like a way to kind of like, you know what I mean? Not focus on all the craziness you have going on.
Yeah, it's like some people use drugs as an escape, but I'm like, if you have ADHD, you just kind of keep escaping from each thought. You're like, oh, let me go write. You're like, I'll start writing jokes, and then you sit down. And you're like, oh, I better go organize my pen. Like it literally will be something like that. Like you start to do all these little tasks.
Oh my God, it's so hard to focus.
Yes, yeah. And and when you start to realize what the trauma is and you'll start to like deal with it, you're like, oh, okay. And then you start to feel centered. And that's almost weird because you're not, for a person with ADHD, I feel like you're so used to like being like this. When you do try to calm down, everyone's like, see? And you're like, I feel like I'm a prisoner. Like I don't like that. I feel crazy when I try to handle my ADHD too much. I feel like it's just as bad as just going over, losing an apartment with you.
Yeah. Well, what I used to think too is I used to think like ADHD was total bullshit.
Yes.
I was just
really?
like, yes.
Oh.
And I
guess I did too.
Here's what I think more so. Adult ADHD, and I'm learning a lot about this. Like I listened to a podcast about it. I started reading about it and everything just because I was like, wow, like I guess I never actually thought that I had it because there was a time in my life when I tried to get ADHD medication strictly to lose weight, like eating disorder based. It was totally crazy and not, you know what I mean? To just like be jacked up all the time. Yes. So I guess I thought, oh, I don't have it or whatever. And then now that I'm like reading all of the symptoms and everything, I'm like, wow, all of these are me or whatever. But I have a weird thing with children. Like, okay. That was an odd sentence.
We'll be right back.
Odd place to stop that sentence. But I don't like the idea of children being on ADHD medication.
No.
It just makes me feel weird because they're still developing. And I think that they can learn better coping mechanisms. Yes. But I understand that sometimes it can be so severe. But I'm like, I know how that medicine made me feel. And granted, I was abusing it. But I'm like, bro, even like 20 milligrams or whatever of Adderall, if you're prescribed that or whatever, like it'll jack you up, dude. Yes. Kids don't eat when they're on it. Like I think it makes them more irritable because they're so stimulated, Mm-hmm. So I have a weird, that's always been something to me. I'm like, no, you need to like talk to your kid and like give them stimulants that aren't just medicine. Like, fine. And I'm not a parent, but you know what I'm saying? Like it just, I don't know. Randy, what do you think about that? Have any of your kids ever?
Dude, I used to put my kids on fucking NyQuil just to get them to shut up and go to bed.
Oh.
Wow,
that's fucked up.
Damn, Randy.
Damn. Too much hand sanitizer. You're fucking just giving NyQuil to your kids.
No, I honestly agree 100% that, I don't think you should put kids on drugs like that at that young of an age while they're still developing.
Yeah. Well,
I just think it's too much for them, man. Yeah. And it's like, how are you going to learn how to like self-soothe? You know what I mean? If you're like, I can't focus, blah, 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 blah. It's like sometimes kids are in too hard of a class or something like that, or they're in too easy of a class. So it's like maybe they're bored, maybe they're whatever, and it's like they just don't have great coping skills.
No, and I think when I was in school, I feel like my problem is that I pretty much got almost like all straight A's, and my problem is that I couldn't focus in school because I was too stimulated by like just everything. Like I wouldn't do my work in class and stuff, but when I'd come home, I'd have all my homework to do, and it would take me all night to do it, but I'm like, I can focus at home by myself. Like if I'm alone, I can focus on this. But at school, I couldn't because I'm like, I like being funny. I like messing with the kid next to me.
Were
or like
you like
the,
the class clown?
100%.
Yeah, for sure. A guy that wanted Liberty Spikes. That's definitely.
No, I was, and when I say that, I wasn't like I don't even think I was like the funny kid. I was just like the kid in class that I was like, I would get moved up by the teacher. Like she'd be like, okay, you have to come sit by me. And I'm like, careful, we might become best friends. And then like when I sit by her, she's like, all right,
might try to kiss you.
I'm 46 years old, Bobby. Hey.
She's like, get away from me. I have stretch marks that are older than you.
Yeah. I actually I didn't know. I told Rafe this. I don't know if I ever told you. I always was like wanting to get the class clown award, which I got like later I guess in high school or whatever, but when I was in like 6th grade, I got the Eddie Haskell Award. I didn't even know what that meant. And I came home and my parents were like, that's fucked up. I didn't know. I was like, who's Eddie Haskell? They're like, kind of this like little asshole kid that's getting into shit. And then he like goes up to like the moms and she's like, oh, hi, Mrs. So-and-so. And I was like, I'm not like that. I'm like, I'm just nice. And then when we're with all
and
the
then
kids,
you're like a bad person when you leave.
You're not, when I leave.
It's like he's got like his finger up his friend's butthole. He's like,
this was on the Andy. Wait,
he's like, hi, Mrs. Anderson. And she's like, hello, Eddie. Oh, it's so good to see ya. Oh, what are you guys up to? And his friend next to him is just sitting there like, oh. And Eddie, like, after Mrs. Anderson walks away, he just shoves the finger higher up the butthole and then rips it out. You know what I mean? Like a friend that's like...
The ones when they were both over 18 fucking with each other. They were both adults messing with each other.
Yeah, no,
Those,
you know what I mean? Like
years,
the friend that's like doing something mean, like bashing somebody with a truck, and then Mrs. Anderson walks in the room. He's like, hi, Mrs. Anderson. And she's like... Eddie, oh, it's so wonderful to have you here. You want to stay for dinner? And he's like, yes, please.
Yes.
Let me help you set up for dinner. And she's like, oh, Eddie. Walks out of the room, and Eddie's like, douche, like beating the shit out of his friend. And then he puts his finger up his friend's butthole. Just one finger.
Oh, what show was that from? The
Dude, I don't even know. I'm too young for all that.
I know,
Rafe said it to me one time, and I was like, I don't really know what that means. Eddie
Finger
Haskell.
up a butthole, dude. Eddie Haskell.
Oh, Leave It to Beaver.
Leave It to Beaver, yeah. I didn't watch... Dude, apparently when people watch those shows, it's like when we watch Friends now. And I'm like, I don't... Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, that's how old it is or whatever? That's crazy to me.
Dude.
When I worked at the firehouse, that was like the shows that guys would put on. Like, oh, this was when stuff was funny, and I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, dude, have you ever seen any new TV shows? People love black and white, and they're like, that was when TV was great. I'm like, it was.
Yeah, it's like
racist.
Why don't you?
It was terrible.
Racist, homophobic, sexist, like horrible.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you take a moment and realize they didn't have a fucking dishwasher?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They did not have a dishwasher.
Yes.
They didn't have laundry.
Yes. They didn't have Liberty spikes back then.
No. God, I still can't believe you wanted that.
I wanted that so bad, but I had my parents wouldn't let me have any. I couldn't like do any of that.
Of course not.
Stuff.
You're going to become a Satanist if you wear anything like that.
So
this is. Oh God, I love WikiHow.
Yeah.
How to Liberty spike your hair on WikiHow.
You do it with glue. You do it with glue. My cousin taught me. She's like use a little bit of glue, a little bit of watered down glue, Elmer's glue.
How to Liberty spike your hair on WikiHow. Liberty spikes is a way of styling your hair into thick, upright spikes like those on the Statue of Liberty's crown. If you are a punk, making a costume or just want this cool hairstyle, check this out.
No, Liberty spikes, as explained here, are different than a mohawk. These are mohawks! I think it's so mad.
Some like dad at a midlife crisis whose whole family left him is like, okay, cool, WikiHow. He like goes to WikiHow to get a mohawk, and then he's like, wait a second. He does this and shows up.
Oh my God.
Steps.
You obviously just watched a Good Charlotte music video, and you want to be Benji.
Steps. Unreal.
Unreal, bro.
Hold on. I'm trying to make sure it's all good. Okay, it's good.
Good.
Yeah.
I keep hitting your
Usually
camera.
I kick the thing.
We both have ADHD. No, I'm never comfortable where I want to sit. Are you ever comfortable where you're sitting?
No, but I'm not comfortable in my own body.
Me neither. Ever. I'm always like, I'm like, give me Liberty. Get me out of here, Liberty. I'm trying to get away from myself.
What if you got Liberty spikes and then you stopped like having ADHD? It was just like, you're like, that's my true self.
I'm like, all of a sudden I can work in an office, but I'm like, you're not going to believe this. I can wear a suit. No problem. But I have to have bright orange Liberty spikes. Otherwise, this presentation is going to be all over the fucking place.
Could you imagine how much money an attorney would make if they just decided to be the Liberty Spikes attorney.
Like the guy who's
We're
like
talking
the weed law guy that's like, if you get over, tell cops to fuck themselves. I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Those guys
Yes.
are like those guys that are like dressed like the Joker. They're like, you want this lawyer? And you're like, dude, no, I absolutely don't.
It's like-
what do you do when a cop pulls you over? Tell him suck your dick and call me. And you're like, I'm not gonna say that to a cop.
I'm definitely not going to say any of that. Okay, so look, these are the steps. Steps are to be a hot, cool guy with longer hair. To be honest, your hair now is getting...
Do I look like this guy?
No, literally not one bit. He looks like, this is a hot guy.
I look kind of like, instead of Dave Grohl, I look like Dave Growl. I look like a little...
Dave Growler.
Dave Growler. Growler pup.
Okay, so this person has incredible eyebrows. I mean, look at those. Better eyebrows than me. So you've got hair, dude.
Can we do it with? Do you think we could do it with that hand sanitizer? Do you think it'll make Liberty Spikes?
No. You don't want to do that to yourself. We got to do a mukbang too. Grow your hair long, okay?
Got it. Step one.
Look like this sexy guy in
Got it.
borderline turtleneck, okay? Number 2, get some pictures of Liberty Spikes online
Can't you use that photo? Could they have done that for you?
or from others so you can see how it looks when it's done. Okay. So while you're spiking it, use the pictures as a reference. Really,
we recommend Benji. He really does have the best Liberty Spikes.
Okay, so here we go. They're the best guide as to how it should look. Jorge Herrera from the band The Casualties has spiked his hair in this fashion numerous times. Wow. Honestly upset that they didn't put Benji on there. Obtain a strong product. So those look like clams.
I was going to say the same thing. So you have to get 3 clams.
Yeah, you have to get 3 clams.
And that looks like way more stuff than there was in the clams. So it looks like clams and cum. You mix clam juice and cum.
You mix up Greek yogurt, clams, 0%
free.
0%. You mix up 0% Greek yogurt for Liberty.
The more
Spikes.
expired, the better.
Sure. You want it to be, as thick as possible. And then it looks like you probably add in make sure to get the Arm & Hammer toothpaste that's just solid white. If there's any green stripes in it in your toothpaste, you can't use that one. And then you get these 3 clams. To me, I think that this person just stopped for a break to have a snack while they were making this.
And took the picture and they're like, they could have cleared it off. But they're
Sure.
like, this is fine. I'm going to draw it like this. How do you
Because-
know how to draw that well and not know how to draw fucking eggshells? Dude.
The clams aren't necessary for Liberty Spikes, but the author did have a couple bites.
And what's step 4?
So, yeah, some punks swear by... I love that they're calling them punks in this article. Like, dude, some punks swear by Elmer's glue. So lame. Most commercially available hairstyling products don't have enough strength to hold your hair in Liberty Spikes for any reasonable amount of time. So, gelatin, glue,
Yep,
Elmer's
see?
glue. That's
Told
what you said. Yep.
Mhm. Shout out to my cousin Jess. She's been doing it for years. She made
All
me
right.
cool.
Comb your hair. Still look sexy like this guy.
Oh, man. My penis fell down.
So, comb your hair. Really sexy. Oh, you got to get a straightener, brother.
You have to get that seems like an over.
Okay, so that
overdoing
actually
it.
says straighten, step 5. You don't have to, but it sure makes it a lot easier if you do.
His hair
What
looks
if-
kind of cool like that, just in the ponytails, just kind of hanging down.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he looks like a guy that's really exploring his feminine side.
Yeah, he looks like a guy who's talking to your girlfriend, and the whole time you're going to pretend like you're not worried, but you're worried because they're getting along just fine.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of products do you use for your hair? Me too.
So in this photo, he looks like his hair is in the long ponytails. And here it actually looks like he cut his hair.
Yeah, it
He
actually looks like he
started-
got addicted between there and there, got addicted to drugs.
Yeah. Up here, he looks like a really cool, like he's been working out a ton. And here it looks like he's been punking off too much.
Yeah.
He's just really been punking it out.
Yeah.
And short hair, that's great.
Back to looking good. Soul patch, that is the smallest soul patch I've ever seen on a human being.
What's a soul patch?
That thing, that little thing right there that he's got.
Oh,
Isn't that a soul patch?
it is.
Tiniest one I've ever seen.
I thought it was a shadow or possibly a pimple. Okay, tease your hair. Great. Apply the product of your choice. Always close your eyes when you're doing it. Like his eyes are closed while he does it because he's just really taking in the moment. You know, he's not closing it so hairspray doesn't get in his eyes. He's closing his eyes.
I'm proud to be an American.
Yep.
Where I liberty spike my hair.
He feels so good. Like his penis is very erect right now. And if he doesn't have a penis, then he's wet.
He looks like Gaston with Liberty spikes almost.
So, okay, keep closing your eyes. Like as the spike is being, air dried, keep your eyes closed.
It says in quotes, this is very a punk thing to do. Think of the Clash while your eyes are closed.
Yeah, closing your eyes and smiling is really punk.
Why does it keep going back to this picture where he looks just terrible?
So you just repeat. Yeah, he does look not well. So, I mean,
I also hope someone listening to the podcast is on step 10, like we're directing them through. I hope that they're almost done.
Yeah,
with it.
now
Send
we're
pictures in of you with your Liberty spikes. We would love to see them.
Now we're on. Whoa, he got a nose ring too. By step 12, he has a nose ring, and he did not have that earlier.
What if when he opened his eyes and saw the nose ring? He's like, whoa. That's what happens when you finish Liberty spikes. You're like, oh, whoa, I guess I got a nose ring.
Yeah, and he's like got a tattoo of like a Wiccan star on his chest. He's like, whoa. And that's it. That's all you got to do to have Liberty spikes. So
I wish we would have done it to my hair during this, but we can't do it with the mukbang. That would look ridiculous.
I mean, these Liberty spikes are like, whoa, cool guy, like da 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 da. And then this guy right here, they're a little.
Like it looks like a guy who went to my high school. Actually, it looks like Sean.
Whoa, that is cool. Liberty Spikes girl hitting her pipe.
I like that she has Liberty spikes, but she also has the front that the bangs are pulled down. She looks actually like the Statue of Liberty. She looks like she has the crown in the front, like the Statue of Liberty, like where you look out at the statue.
Yes.
Wow.
So these are really cool hip hairstyles that people should be thinking about getting.
I'll get that. You can also Liberty spike your armpit hair. That looks pretty rad too.
Yeah.
Liberty spike your pubes. Like, hey, this is punk as fuck, isn't it?
Yeah,
it hurts in my pants though.
Really, the only time that you would need the Liberty spike your armpits would be if you are at Six Flags about to go on a roller coaster and wanting a really sick picture when you go down. Yeah. And you're going to have to walk with your arms up like that the whole way to that ride.
Yes.
And then it'll pretty much just be for that picture.
Just imagining a guy standing there like that with Liberty spikes and a guy looking over and being like, Wiki how to Liberty spike armpits. Like, first step, get a picture. We can't find many.
Oh, man. And after you do the roller coaster with your Liberty spikes, you're going to have to distract the employee so that you can take a photo of the photo with your cell phone.
So you don't have to pay $15 to get a picture of yourself on the boss.
Oh, because if they see it, if they catch you taking a photo.
That's a felony. I know a guy who's done that 3 times, and he's out. 3 strikes, you're out.
3 strikes, he's out. He's been in prison forever.
Got caught at Six Flags St. Louis. Got caught at Swing Around Funtown in Fenton, and then once again tried it again back at Six Flags.
At Worlds of Fun in Kansas City, he actually had to travel to another part of the state because
I feel like you ever know? I feel like any person who buys those, I've went over to someone's house where like their family bought one. I'm like, I feel like you guys just don't even understand what actual fun is. Like just people who are like, you guys want to remember the time we went down a hill? And I'm like, that's so stupid. Like people who get their picture at the Magic House with their hands standing up like Liberty spikes. It's like, dude, that was $20. Why don't you take a picture with your phone? Like they won't let you. You're like, they'll always let you.
What about those cool wax hands? You get it like a
like
carnival.
You and your friend like hold your hand and you come out. I've always wanted one of those. Have you ever gotten one of those stupid pictures where you stand like you were in a saloon?
Yeah.
You've gotten one of those?
Yeah.
Did Rafe make you do it? That seems like something Rafe's like, hey, if you don't mind while we're on vacation, I don't want to get new headshots. That looks like something he would like. He's like, I really like this jacket. Yeah.
No, I did it with my family when I was younger. And I remember like trying the clothes on and being like, geez, I feel so stupid.
It's so
And then when I got in character, I was like, get down, motherfuckers!
Oh, Six Flags. It'll really get you. It'll really nickel and dime you on some of the
Did you hear about this? This lady that got like a felony or something for not returning a VHS tape?
No.
This like story broke, I think, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or something. Okay, so it's like, it says, a Texas woman doesn't remember renting a VHS tape 22 years ago, and the place she rented it from shut its doors down more than a decade ago. The unreturned tape led her to being charged with a felony. Though the case was dismissed and expunged Wednesday, Karen McBride is looking into legal options. So it hurt me tremendously and my family.
Oh.
It makes me madder and madder the more I think about it. It's like, okay, so I just want to see if it actually affected her. McBride, 52, was charged with felony embezzlement of rental property in Oklahoma, where she previously lived in March 2000. Oh, shit. Bobby's shirt says Oklahoma. I bought it for him. It's a tie-dye shirt that's way too small. Okay, so she rented this in March 2000, more than a year after the tape of Sabrina the Witch was to be returned, court records show.
It's not even like it's not even like an Oscar movie. It's like season 1 of a television show.
Yeah, it's not like Titanic. She's like, I just lost one of the tapes, you know? Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
We watched Titanic before. It's a great film.
Oh, yeah, I told that story on here. It's
Did
hilarious.
you? Oh,
yeah, hell
my
yeah.
God.
I want to know which one was... Oh, so she rented...
Like the 60s one?
Did she rent like a TV series of it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not even a show. It's like she got the one that's like, I actually know the theme song to that.
Okay, so look.
And she's like spinning around trying on different outfits. Yeah. Do you remember the intro? She's like spinning around trying on different outfits. And at the end, she says something funny like, guess I got a cat. Bow! And then it starts.
She says something funny. She's like, magic.
She says something funny like,
yeah, the funniest thing that they could get her to say was like, magic.
Watch my show.
I do magic.
Could you imagine if this like got far enough that they needed a jury, like they had a whole jury and people were deliberating? Like, I think she should go to prison. But I actually remember going to that same fucking one. My friend wanted to rent that movie, and we had to skip it and guess where they were at and why she's dating Harvey now and what happened with her other aunt. And the cat's not there anymore, and I'm confused.
You know,
put her away.
We
burn her at the stake.
Burn her at this stake.
Burn her like a witch.
That's what she's sentenced to. Okay, so hold on. I want to get to the bottom of the rest of this. So she believes her boyfriend at the time, who had 2 young daughters, rented the tape in her name. He had to have. I know he did. I know I didn't. That's what she says. I have never seen one episode nor a movie. So she had a fucking warrant. McBride didn't find out about the outstanding warrant against her until she tried to change her name on her license after getting married and moving to Texas from Oklahoma. So when she emailed the Department of Motor Vehicles, that's the DMV, in November to set up an appointment as per COVID-19 protocols, she received a response on April 16th that she had to fix an issue in Oklahoma first. In the email response, she was given a case number and the phone number to the courthouse. I called it, and the lady looked up the reference number and told me it was a felony embezzlement. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. So, whatever. She suspects having the felony on her record may have cost her job opportunities. Don't you think somebody would have told her? Like, it's like, I was working 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. I was struggling to make ends meet when I knew I was quite capable.
I barely had time to even watch Sabrina and the Teenage Witch.
I mean, that is crazy.
That is insane.
Don't you think it's like, I literally was buying a car a few years ago, and the guy like pulled me over to the side. He was like, hey, listen, come here. I'm not supposed to tell you what knocked you on this, but you missed a $30 payment to Kohl's. And it got reported, and that's why we can't get you as good of a rate. And I was like, thanks, man. Thanks for letting me know. Also, fuck you, Kohl's.
Yeah, dude. That's scary to think that something that little you can literally go, like it went through the system, and they're like, she might be put away for years.
Oh, God, yeah. Hold on.
Years.
There's a similar case like this. In 2016, a North Carolina man was pulled over for a broken brake light when he was told he had an outstanding warrant for not returning a VHS tape of Freddie Got Fingered 15 years ago.
Oh, my God.
Oh, and then another person.
Hey, I'm in here for murdering someone. What are you in here for? Freddie got fingered. And he's like, what did you just say to me? I've been in jail before the 2000s, so I don't know what that movie is. Tom Green. Who's Tom Green?
Another lady in 2014 found out she had a warrant for an unreturned tape of Monster-in-Law. Do you know what movie Monster-in-Law is?
Have you ever seen that movie?
I
It's
remember
funny.
Jane Fonda being in it. And Jennifer Lopez. Okay, who else is in it?
Oh, it's pretty funny. It's like one of those movies I watched when I was a kid. It was funny enough.
Seen that.
Yeah, it's like a dumb movie that was on TV.
Oh yeah, and it was this guy that was like hot for a while, and everybody had him in. Whoa, she does that to Jennifer Lopez.
That's in her dreams. I think she's like dreaming and like slams her head down. But
Jane Fonda is so cool.
oh, it's a star-studded cast. It's great.
God, could you? What's like the worst movie that you could get pulled over for?
Time Traveler's Wife.
Or like you go to prison because you go to prison because like you rented the cube and you had it for too long. It's like that's a good movie. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Yo,
I've never even heard of it. You ever seen The Time Traveler's Wife?
Yeah, with Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
Honestly, I remember watching a little bit of it, but I remember being like, ugh, this just isn't as good as The Notebook.
Yeah, it's definitely not a great movie, but I've seen it.
Dude, The Cube is crazy.
What's The Cube
Sci-fi
about?
movie you gotta watch.
Is it just guy solving a Rubik's Cube really fast?
Yeah, the movie's actually 1 minute and 13 seconds long.
Time.
No, it's a sci-fi movie. All these people just like wake up in these rooms, and each room has like traps in it or whatever, like, and you can get killed in some of them. Like some of them have like, you know, a bunch of lights that'll come down or something and blind you, or like
Dude, it sounds like a bad version of Saw. You're like, dude, some rooms are really bright. Some rooms are stinky. Some of the rooms kind of smell weird. Yeah, let's look this up.
Randy, can we watch the Cube trailer on here?
I'm gonna go. Probably not, but why not? It's not my call. I don't know.
I feel like we could just watch a
We're all gonna
trailer.
we're all gonna get felonies because we
no, but they won't.
We all
They
watch
won't
the
let
Cube.
us monetize the podcast with it.
That's why we would all get felonies.
Yeah, we'd all go to prison. Whoa, dude, they're doing a Japanese horror remake of it. Okay, let me just go. 6 complete strangers with widely varying personalities are involuntarily placed in an endless maze containing deadly traps. That's it.
Saw.
Whatever, dude. This is the OG one. This is before
I said I like The Time
Saw.
Traveler's Wife, and we skimmed over that. I called this movie Saw. Like, there's no other movie like The Time Traveler's Wife. I know but so. It's just a
Oh,
good
did
movie.
you know there's a new Saw?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
With Chris Rock. Yeah.
Have you saw it? Got him. Have y'all saw it?
Y'all saw? Y'all see Saw?
Hey.
I saw Saw. Did you see Saw? I see Saw with Chris Rock. See Saw.
Yeah, me and the wife are thinking about going to Saw this weekend.
I like Jigsaw and Seesaw and the Saw.
Yeah, we're planning on taking the kids to a park and doing a seesaw before, and then we're gonna go Saw.
I saw.
It's called Spiral.
Saw.
I did see Chris Rock in it, and I was like, boy, his makeup looks good. You know, like in the trailer.
I did not think that. I didn't watch that. I did not watch the trailer and go, man, Chris Rock's makeup looks really good.
He's Detective Zeke Banks. Yeah, so this is. Are you a big Saw fan? Because there are some people that are crazy about it.
I love horror movies, but Saw's one that I do like it, but it's definitely not like my top game. The thing that it's like, the first one was so fucking crazy. I remember watching that and being terrified. I was at my house, lived like a kid, and I watched that movie, and I was so scared that my dad comes downstairs and goes, hey, someone's on the phone for you. And I go, ah! Like I was just scared as fuck. Because like at the end, dude, you've seen the movie, but at the end when the guy from fucking Liar Liar's like sawing his leg off, you're like, ah! It's the scariest shit, dude.
Well,
I remember that.
Can't they not get out anyways? Like, aren't they going to die no matter what?
No, you can. Okay, so I don't want to ruin the Saw trilogies.
I think you can. It's a really old movie.
It's not even a trilogy. It's like got so many. But there are people who get out, and if you get out, it's kind of like how the Joker operates. Like then you become part of his thing. Like some people who escape go and help him. Like that picture you just saw, there's that one where the girl has like that thing on her head. She is one of the ones who escapes and then volunteers to get put back into it and like tricks everyone. Like she's in on it. Just like in the first Saw. Remember the guy who you think's dead the whole time? He's a part of it. Everyone in Saw, like there's people in it. That's why it's so. To me, it's not as much. It's a good horror movie, but it's just a fuck. It's like it's got that mind fuck element.
Oh,
too.
I don't remember. I haven't seen the first.
Let's rewatch them. Let's all rewatch them. It'll be fun.
I'm totally down.
It'd be great.
Because this girl, I mean,
she's great.
Did she get like her jaw ripped out or something?
Well, that's what that's what it's supposed to do. But this is the one she escapes. Another person doesn't. She's so basically the guy's like the Joker. He wants to prove that like you should have to want to live because he's made it through all this hard shit. Everyone else is going to have to. And she makes out of this trap and then gets put into another like situation. And in this, one of the hardest scenes I've ever watched, she's like standing outside of this pit of needles. There's a pit of needles. And they throw her in there because she has to like get like I think a key or something like that. It's one of the hardest scenes I've ever watched. Like this one's fucked up because one dude's head does get ripped off, hers doesn't. But yeah, it's like fucked up because then later she gets volunteered to go back into the game, and then someone throws her into a thing of needles because you have to get a key to go in the next room. It's like those fucking escape rooms or whatever. It's crazy. Let's rewatch it. I think you would like them. They're good. Actually, the more I'm saying this, I'm like, I guess I like Saw more than I thought. I love horror movies. I'm a huge horror
movies too.
What's your favorite horror movie?
I love Devil's Rejects and I love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah.
The 60s one.
Yeah.
It's one of my faves.
Absolutely.
Amityville Horror, the old one, is really spooky too.
Oh, the old. I don't know if I've ever seen the old one. I've only seen the Ryan. I think I've seen the Ryan Reynolds.
Spooky.
Yeah.
But I love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
It's horrifying.
My first one I like is kind of silly, but I love Jeepers Creepers 2 because it's so stupid and silly and scary.
Okay.
Love Jeepers Creepers 2, and then Hereditary is probably one of the most. fucked up
Hereditary
films.
was good too,
dude. The whole film I'm like grabbing my face, like stop, slow the movie down.
This guy was in the original Jeepers Creepers.
One. Yes,
and we had a waiter when we were in where were we? In Arizona, I think it was. We were in Arizona. It was like me, Chelcie, Libbie, all of us were all out to eat. And our waiter literally looked exactly like Justin Long.
Oh my God.
And it was just so creepy. I was like, oh, dude, that's Justin Long. Like, were you in Jeepers Creepers?
Maybe he was doing a whole undercover thing where he's like, no, that's not me. But it's totally him.
The first Jeepers Creepers was spooky.
The first one?
I don't remember the second one. Who's in the second one?
I thought that one was spooky. Justin Long has a cameo. He comes back, but it's really stupid. It's just, it's got a lot of dumb lines in it. It's stupid. Tusk. You ever seen Tusk with Justin Long? Fuck!
Is it a scary movie?
Kevin, I can't think of his name. Who's the guy from Jay and Silent Bob? Shut up. But he wrote that.
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith. Yeah. He wrote that movie, and it is fucking weird, dude. You should, after this, we'll just watch the final scene. You don't even need to watch the whole movie. We'll just watch the final scene, and
is it going to ruin it for me?
Yeah, that's what the end of the movies do.
Dude, I know that Paul Walker was in a lot of like really bad movies, like all the Fast and Furious movies, but it's also like he's dead, so we can't say anything like that bad about him.
Sure.
But I will say there is one movie that Paul Walker's in called Running Scared that is so good. Real good.
What is it about?
You should watch it. It's about like this kid goes missing. I think it's like his kid or the next door neighbor's kid. I can't remember. And basically gets freaking kidnapped by these chomos.
What?
Child molesters.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know. Sorry, I never heard.
Chomos, honey.
I was like, I didn't know what that was. I never. You
never heard about a chomo?
Eddie Haskell sounds like a chomo.
Here's what I'll tell you. You don't want to be one. You don't want to be one, and you don't want to be near one. But yeah, it's wild. So he has to pretty much get all these kids out and shit. It's creepy.
All right.
It's good.
Let's watch. We're gonna watch all of these after this.
Oh yeah. I do. Tusk has a 45% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's just cool because it's such a different movie. It's just such a different movie than you've ever seen, and it has I like physical effects, practical. Like whenever I see something real and that one has something at the end that's fuck, it's just cool looking. It's really, really, really cool.
All right.
We should have a horror. Dude, there's not many people that like horror movies. Like Danielle will be like, we'll be at night. It's like, hey, what movie you want to watch? And like, she'll always want to watch like a comedy or something. And I'm like, I've kind of seen it. I like to watch I feel like I like to watch like serious or like heavy ass shit, like True Detective or something. Yeah. And then I'm always like, you want to watch a scary movie? And she's like, yeah. And she usually will pick, she's like, Nightmare Before Christmas? I'm like, no, not like that's not that scary. But yeah, we should watch some horror films.
Dude, I remember Nightmare Before Elm Street just like destroying me when I was a kid.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yes, because
I didn't see it I never saw that. That was too scary for me. Just his face looked too fucked up.
Getting stuck in a dream was something I always hated.
Yeah.
And it was like, that just like ruined dreaming for me for quite some time.
I had a cousin that would scare me so much that it's weird that I like horror movies and stuff now. Like he was a guy who he would like put shit all over his face and then come around the corner and just like scare the shit out of me. But I love it. I would just like be in that horror genre if I could choose anything to do. Like, what do you want to do? Like, can I just be in like horror movies and just be like that bad acting where you're just pulling your guts out? Like, I love like stupid, scary movies. Because they're just stupid. You're like, everyone's like running in their own home. They're like, where's my door? You're like, it would never happen. Like, I think they should make an Airbnb one. That would make more sense because you don't know that house. And they could have like trap doors.
I know, but it's so boring.
What?
That's boring to me to do an Airbnb one.
Sponsored by Airbnb. 4 stars though, right?
Dude, so I feel, you know how they always have like, I don't think I could ever be an actor in a scary movie. And here's a couple reasons why. So they always have like crazy hot, like fit people in them. You know what I mean? Like when they're running or whatever. Cause it's like,
yes. Yeah, they have their shirt off.
Pull my pants up all the time. Like I'm always like, I would just be running and then it would be like, oh God, my fat roll fell out. And I gotta like pull my jeans up, you know, like it's like what would end up happening is like my pants would wiggle down so far. I would have to be running, holding up my pants.
That is so funny that they have literally like they'll have blood and guts and intestines, and you're like, dude, if they see my fucking
no, it's not about that. It literally, it's not that I'm like, oh, they would see it. It's yeah, whatever, fuck off.
Yeah,
like it's just my pants always fall down.
Oh,
like they're just. It's like I just wouldn't.
They can
be
have
able
a practical effect of like putting a belt on or something like that.
Here's what I would have to be doing: wearing a solid pair
You ever seen
of
Batman
leggings.
2? The Penguin. You know,
What, Danny DeVito?
They keep his pants up, and that guy's wide. They can keep anyone's pants up in Hollywood. They can keep anyone's pants up. You don't worry about your pants, Tina. If that's what's stopping you from being an actress, don't let your pants stop you. Pull your pants up, wrap a belt around it.
The Penguin's literally like a bowling ball.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah, if they can make his pants stay up, man, you can make anyone's pants.
Oh my God, that's
don't
fucking
be worried.
funny.
I just like that you were like, I could never be an actress because my pants couldn't stay up.
I'd have to be wearing like a solid pair of leggings. My ideal day of like if I was in a horror movie would be like I just got done working out or I'm about to go work out, so I'm wearing like nice, comfy clothes that I can be active in.
Yes.
And I understand that the point of a horror movie is that you're in an unsuspecting situation.
Yes.
So you got to be wearing clothes that might not be the most comfortable.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So you are defying all you're against all odds, even though you're wearing a prom dress, you're gonna make it out.
I'm gonna write a horror movie. Mark my words. And there's gonna be a part where Tina's about to get away, but her pants fall a little bit, and it trips her hips up enough that the killer catch up to her. And he's like, hey, looks like this girl was flying by the seat of her pants. Stab, stab, stab.
Dude,
and
listen.
This is Tina's death face.
I'd be like,
that was a good one. Don't be scared of your pants. That was great acting.
You did a really good one earlier.
Yeah,
like when you were acting. Because it's like you don't want to look like too cheesy. You don't want to be like,
ouch.
Yeah, you can't be like, ow,
owie, owie.
It's gotta be like,
yeah. Give me you. We'll go out. We can go out on this soon, but I want to get you like if you just got killed by like a killer. Like, give me like your scream.
I'm dead.
No, sorry.
No.
Picture this. You're getting killed by the killer. Give me like the scream, like as I'm stabbing you. And go ahead.
The scream that I would probably do would be like. You did a
couple going, yeah.
did a bit as I was getting killed.
You do a bit like it sounds like a guy coming at you. Oh!
I'm like, what? They're stabbing me, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They stab me, and I'm just like, oops, I did it again. I just start singing the worst song ever.
My heart got lost in the game. Oh, stab me.
Yeah, I think I could do it.
I think you could too. I think we should all write our own horror movie.
I'm just saying, a lot of people, I talked about like how it's like I have a hard time finding pants to fit because it's like my pants aren't too small or too whatever, but it's like my fat roll will push them down.
Okay.
And it's a constant battle of like pulling my pants up. Oh, whatever. But a lot of people were like, Tina, I totally understand. I get that. So I think a lot of people are actually going to resonate with
so too.
Running away from somebody. It's like, dude, if I get like a good stride going and then it's like, I got to pull my pants up, that's shaving off a lot of time.
I've seen you in an emergency situation. We were literally in a boat when we were whitewater rafting. And when you flipped over and were falling on top of me, I saw your like actual scared face. And I was like, in any situation, if you were running from you would just be like, and like you would just fall down because we were flipping. And I remember being like laughing because I'm like, this is fun. We knew we were going to fall. And Tina's glasses are falling off her face. And she looked at me with her eyes as if to be like, I'm going to use you as a raft. Like I remember you were coming down on top of me and I'm like, and you were just like, and I'm like, dude, you will push me under to like be alive. And later you're like, I'm sorry. I was fight or flight.
I was so scared.
I literally remember looking up. I'm having the
under the
time of my
raft, and I was
life.
like,
And you're like, oh, you were the scaredest I've ever seen you in your entire life.
Well,
and we've gotten fucked up on a lot of, we've been scared. We've been eternally scared. But that was the scariest I've seen you.
so scared.
I was not at all. That
and
was
then
really
it was
funny.
like fun afterwards, but it was like part of me was like, that's why you got to wear the helmets, you know? I'll never forget that photo of all of us whitewater rafting. We're all wearing helmets. Can I show that picture on here? Can I send it to Randy?
I don't know
of
if
your
you could-
ball sack
I don't
out?
think, maybe we'll block it out. I've kind of put my penis out there too much, and I'm kind of starting to get a little self-conscious about it.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't think my balls can just be on the internet, and then I'm gonna, I don't want to get in.
No one knows your balls are there. Whatever.
If we can't show the core trailer, we can't show my nuts for sure. You can share the picture.
We'll pixelate it out. I'll send it to Randy so they can see the photo.
Yes, but you can explain the photo.
The photo is like, it's, we went whitewater rafting. We paid for all these photos, and they send like a kayaker out that is a photographer. So he's like kayaking along, with you guys while you're whitewater rafting. And like, there were a couple really intense parts there.
For sure.
It was pretty cool.
It was a level 5, I think, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah,
like class
4 or
rapids,
5,
4 or 5.
Mhm.
Either way, so there's like this moment where our guide, we kind of had to have some training where the guide would be like, all right, I got your backs, and whenever we do
3, 2, 1,
he's
bro!
like,
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, put your hand over the core.
By the way, you're skipping a very important part on that. This guy hit on Tina immediately. He literally comes up to our boat and he goes, hey, you guys got a leader yet? He goes, no. He goes, you're with me. You come here. And Rafe was like, what the fuck's going on? He just watched this guy be like, he basically like picked you up and put you on your shoulders like, you're coming with me.
For sure, but I was taller than him.
Yeah. Dude, he was buff, but he was little.
Yeah, he was buff. His name was Vic, remember?
Vic, yeah.
Oh, God. He was fucking...
So we're on this thing. This guy the whole time's like, you do comedy, T? And we're like, hey, man, there's like 3 other people in this boat. So we're going down, and there would be guys who would jump off, and they would jump off and like get on the side, and when you'd go down a rapid, they'd take your picture. They do this at like, we started getting used to it. We're like, hey, they're going to take our picture right there. There's the guy standing. So we get used to it.
Yes. And so like we would have to cover the rod. What's it called? The end of the paddle. Remember, they were very specific about that. They're like, you have to hold your hand over it so you don't hit somebody in the face.
Yeah, I don't remember the terminology.
Whatever. So you're holding the little paddle.
Yes.
And it's like, there's this picture where we were all like, yeah, we're getting it, dude. We're working so hard. But the photo is literally our guy, Vic, is in the background, so strong and literally doing everything, all of the work. And we're all in our helmets and life jackets. All of us holding our paddles horizontal. Just all like, wee! We all look like such nerds. And then Bobby's ball sack is out.
Because we came around the corner. I'm like, hey, that guy's going to take our picture. We're going to buy pictures, so I'm going to pull it out for us. So I pulled my nut out just for our friends. But as soon as we go off the rapids, it's pretty intense. It's a level like 4 or 5. So we get down and we land. And as soon as we land, before I can put my nuts away, all of a sudden he goes, row, row. So I start rowing and I forget that my nut's out. And we go around the corner and there's these people and they're like, you would park every once in a while.
Yeah, it was like a couple on a honeymoon.
It was like a couple. It was like adults. They were like a full-grown adults. And they're like wrapping up the line. Like they would pull you in and they'd wrap up this line. And she looks at me and she just goes, and she gives me this look and is all fucked up. And I'm like, why is she looking at me like this? And I look down like, oh, my nuts are out. And I pull them away and I'm like, oh my God. So we have a picture of it. You should share that picture, because we're having the time of our lives.
I'll show it.
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
Good, great times.
All right, honeys. Well, I gotta pee.
I gotta pee too. Ranch!
Yes.
Was that her?
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I love it. So good. Well, Bobo, thanks for doing the podcast.
You're welcome, baby. I love you.
Love you.
Thanks for having me on.
Glad
love you,
you were
Randy.
here.
I miss you, Libbie.
We miss you, Lib. Hope you're having the time of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dumb, super looking bitch.
Mm-hmm. 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 All right. Well, Bobby and I are going to do a mukbang. So for everyone that is a patron, that will be up later this week. And I think we're going to eat some Nacho Mamas. Drive-through Mexican place. Wow, 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 wow.
Can't wait, baby.
All right. Love y'all.
Love
Thanks
you.
for listening.
And cut.
And cut of Libbie.
Ranch!